Thanks everybody for watching. We're gonna make this beautiful sand layered succulent with this glass container and these individual succulents. And we're gonna finish it off with some decorative sand, black and white, and some finishing rock. We have this beautiful glass, a rectangular container. It's about 12 inches long, and I've already pre-made these individual succulents in square glass containers with a little bit of rock on the bottom for drainage and cactus soil. I'm just making sure that they fit. This is why we do this individually, so we don't mess up the decorative sand around the edges of the glass planter. So we'll put all three in this glass container, and then we'll finish by placing some black sand, white sand right here, and then on top, our finishing rock, we have just a decorative green glass rock that we will finish on top. Have it. We also have this painter's brush that's going to help us move the sand down and clean up the edges. It's kind of a nice tool that we like to use in these projects. So let's get started. We start out by just getting a nice base of the sand, white sand I prefer to start out with. This way the individual succulent glass planters inside the glass container doesn't really slip. It kind of gives it a nice grip, and so they stay quite still. And then now I have this nice piece of paper that's gonna help me to place the sand in so I don't get any extra sand inside the succulents. It helps me kind of move around where I want to place the sand as well. You can try to move the sand in areas that you want higher and lower in areas to kind of create a different pattern. You can use your painter's brush too to kind of push the sand in different directions as well. Now I'm going to come in with some black sand and just fill in and make my second layer above the white sand. Again, I'm using this piece of paper to kind of help me outline the sand so it doesn't go in the succulent containers. It can be a bit messy at times, but really the guiding paper really helps do just that. It guides the sand in the area where you're trying to place it. I'm going to flip it over on this side and fill in again the second layer, black sand. You can really choose any color sand that you wanted. I actually just thought this was like a nice, clean, modern look. I just wanted to go with two tones, a white and a black. There's all sorts of colors that you can use, and we can do that later. This actual container was a little bit difficult to put the sand in because it is so shallow in the sense that it's not very wide. So the individual succulent glass containers are almost just about as wide as the rectangular planter, so getting the sand in there was a challenge for me. As you can see, I miss a couple spots here and there, and the sand actually ends up on the table instead of in the container, but that's okay. In the future, perhaps I'll use smaller individual glass succulent containers, so I'll have more room for this actual placement of the sand in the rectangular planter. So So again, I'm coming in with the white layer of sand and filling in and just kind of making a different pattern, highs and lows, and just making something a little more interesting to the eye as far as architectural look. I'll come in with my last layer of black sand, and sorry for my elbow in the way. I'm trying to get a grip on this, and I'm right-handed, so maybe I should have put this on the other side, but finishing on this side with the black sand, and I'll probably top it off on one small layer of white sand, and then the finishing green glass rock as the planter's topper. So I'm just gonna finish things off right here with this paintbrush and kind of smooth out this last layer of white sand before I go ahead and place this green decorative glass rock on top. And that is it. We just want to fill in the top of this, and that will be that. This is what you get. Isn't that beautiful? Thanks guys for following. Subscribe and like, and add any comments if you choose.